obstacles. But
Browns didn't.
The Browns didn't. They didn't want the Oilers name, but you're like, I mean, we're making these decisions as the Lakers are one of the great NBA franchises. You do realize there are no lakes in LA hardly. They were named that because they started in Minneapolis.
Here's where it would suck for a fan, and I understand cities being upset. But if the Rams would have left L.A. to go to Anaheim, Anaheim to St. Louis, and they changed their name altogether, and you've got the St. Louis whatever, and I'm pulling for that team, then the Rams pop up in L.A. again and have a completely new team, then I'm kind of torn. What do I do at that point?
So that happened with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
That team went to Baltimore. The Ravens are the Browns' history, and then the Browns started as a franchise team just with the old name. But it sucks that you don't have a throwback uniform for the Houston Texans.
Can they not wear the old Dallas Texans uniform? Was it that much different? I don't know what the logo looked like.
I don't know.
You know what I would do? You could even keep the Titan name with that uniform because people that own oil rigs are Titans.
Titans of industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do miss those old Love You Blues right there. Top of the hour. We'll talk Heisman Trophy when we come back. Show brought to you in part by our friends at Redmond. Redmond Vodka, Redmond Distilling. Get us Charles Barkley's vodka.
Oh, it was such a popular hit with our guests last week at SEC Media Days. Ask for it by name. Again, it's available now in 22 states. It's gluten-free. It's 8 times distilled. Pick it up at your local package store, including Pink Package, The Beverage Place, also ABC stores. It's Redmond Vodka.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter at JLuntz.
If you have water or fire damage to your home or business, DryTech is here to help. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. They respond quickly, within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They have 5 crews ready to go 24/7, built to go on the job when it happens. DryTech has 65-star Google reviews, so call DryTech, not the insurance company. Find more online at mydrytech.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Harbin's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do.
Hey, treat that special someone to the gift of luxury from Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Again, buy them 24/7 online or stop by the Woodhouse Day Spas and tell them the Next Round sent you.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel, where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
You've heard us rave about our friends at Legacy. Now I want to tell you about their everyday checking. How about this? No monthly fees, no minimum balance. One of the great perks, get paid 2 days early with direct deposit, instant issue debit cards. And there are some additional perks on top of that with the digital banking app. Absolutely love checking that. The official credit union of UAB, our friends at Legacy, dedicated service to education and healthcare industries for more than 60 years.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Caleb Williams from USC won the Heisman Trophy last year. A lot of good quarterbacks out there. If I just said conference before we do our Heisman draft, would you say the Pac-12 has the best chance to win the Heisman again?
I mean, it's the best quarterback conference this year.
And it's a quarterback award.
Yeah, I mean, if any of those teams, if Cam Rising is healthy, Utah comes out of there. Michael Penix with Washington, Bo Nix with Oregon. I mean, any of those guys is going to be in the mix.
Going to be in the mix. We're going to score this 5-3-2-1 on Heisman votes. 5 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point for the top 4 in voting. We'll get to our Heisman conversation. All this popping up because we heard from Bo Nix from back at Pac-12 Media Days on Friday earlier in our show. Slice brings us this part of the show, LT.
Yeah, 4 great locations. The original right there in Lakeview, one in Montevallo, Vestavia, now Crestline Park. Local pizza, local ingredients. Don't forget about that carry-out special. $75. You get the 12 wings, 2 of the specialty pizzas, half pan of salad, 7 nights a week. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
It is very random. Brown says this is a hard thing to pick. Rarely is the favorite win this thing. Ryan Brown gets the first overall pick. Usually a quarterback. The people at home would expect Brown to pick a quarterback. Will he surprise us?
I will not. Give me Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. Pick number
Ewers.
1.
Quinn
Ewers
is off
Texas.
the board.
Pick 1.
I think that's a good pick.
With the first pick, I'll go Quinn Ewers, quarterback, Texas.
That is a really good pick. I appreciate.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate that pick very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That means a lot that y'all like it.
I am going to go SEC Power, as I tend to do on this show all the time, and I'm going to take Jaden Daniels of LSU.
Since Jim went only last name, for the record, that is Jaden Daniels, LSU quarterback.
Yeah, I like that. I'm just going to go because if for whatever reason USC has one of those special years, sooner or later somebody's going to win it back-to-back, right?
Not necessarily.
I've got the reigning Heisman Trophy winner and Caleb Williams.
Okay. And you also
Fight on.
And you also get to start off round 2 as we snake this thing.
Yeah, I am going to go round 2.
Play along at home if you'd like.
Yes, we've got Quinn Ewers, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams off the board if you're playing with us at home here.
Snake draft. Best karaoke media members at Media Days.
I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Ooh, the first non-quarterback selected here.
That was the
Marvin
one I
Harrison
wanted.
Jr.
That was the one I wanted. I'm next.
So you were going that direction?
I was. I thought maybe he would slide one more position. So that means really I need to come back to the quarterback position now to sort of reset my bearings. Oh man, I'm gonna go non-quarterback. I'm gonna go Brock Bowers of Georgia. Shockingly, another SEC power.
Yeah.
So Dunaway's picking SEC Player of the Year.
I've got a feeling that if Bowers stays healthy, that he is going to be a finalist. It's going to be hard for a tight end to win it, but again, people like to go against the grain. Brock Bowers, to me, at least coming into the season, is the best player in football.
For my next selection, I will take Sam Hartman, quarterback, Notre Dame, and Jordan Travis, quarterback, Florida State.
Draft's really moving fast now, folks.
It's almost as if I had back-to-back picks there.
Let me see your picks so far.
I've got Quinn Ewers, Sam Hartman, Jordan Travis. You've got Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, Lance has Caleb Williams, and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow, man, that was really good, Brown.
No Alabama player off the board?
Not as of yet, no.
Not yet. I mean, you don't know who the quarterback's going to be. It's going to be running back by committee. A lot of wide receivers.
I agree with Michael. Drake May would be a shoo-in if he went to Bama.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I would have drafted him by now. You?
Oh, yeah.
He would have
gone number 1 overall.
He would have been. I'm going to take a quarterback not in the SEC. I'm going to go to Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik. Cade Klubnik. Probably could have picked him last by y'all's reaction. Cade Klubnik is my pick.
No, I had Klubnik on the board. You know what? I'll go. So is it my turn again, right?
It is for 2.
Back to back. I will go Will Shipley. Another non-quarterback.
Lance is making the donuts.
And I will also take with my fourth and final selection. Oh. I'm going to take a flyer. I've got the most random list ever. I can't do it. I'm going to take J.J. McCarthy.
I've already got mine written down. Who are you taking a flyer on?
Frank Harris.
Yeah, UTSA. Boy, that would be a huge flyer.
They go undefeated, though. He'll be right there.
Yep. I've still got mine written down, Jim.
My other flyer was going to be Braylon Allen.
Don't look. Don't show it to me, Brownie.
Well, I've already said who it is. If it goes undrafted.
Oh yeah.
I've got Bo Nix. I've already announced it.
I could still pick
You
him.
could, but I'm going to have to erase it if you do. But I mean, I said it in a previous segment. If he's still available, I'm taking him. So I've got it unless you make me erase it. I'm going Bo Nix. Make me erase it. Make me erase it, Jim. Write Bo Nix on there. You predicted it years ago. I can't believe you're not even going to back up your prediction from years ago.
Because you wrote it down, Brown. I'm not going to go back and do it.
I'll erase it.
No.
No.
I mean,
oh, you know how this is going to play.
Such a card played.
Hey, you know how this is going to play.
Carson Beck for me.
Remember this. When he wins it or finishes on the stage and the points are enough to get me a steak, Dunaway's going to say, I was going to pick Bo Nix, but Brown already had it written down. I needed to speed the show up.
I feel really good. Carson Beck, the only way he wins this is if everybody else's numbers are so bad. Because there's no way his numbers will be as good as Stetson's last.
You're going to say, I was speeding the show up trying to get the commercials in. Brown made me rush. I went Carson Beck.
Xavier Worthy. Let's get some of the actual people who are watching, listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I'll hush.
Daniel writes in, Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, Xavier Worthy. Of Texas, but can you see a way Xavier wins it, Brownie, without Quinn Ewers winning it? Would take him getting hurt and somebody else throwing a Xavier Worthy, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess you'd end up with Arch Manning.
Where's Milton says Chase? I'm not even sure he would be the quarterback. Maybe he is.
Oh, I think he'll be the quarterback. I looked at Blake Corum. That was who I would have probably gone with if I had not gone Bo Nix.
But like in a stake bet, I'm likely going to lose barring injury with Quinshon Judkins. I've got Blake Corum, Judkins. You have another running back at Michigan to split the carries. It's a two-headed monster in Edwards, right? The other running back at Michigan. So I don't think he can get the numbers, Brown, big enough for him to win. Travion Henderson at Ohio State, maybe.
Jeff is asking about Michael Penix. I looked at Michael Penix. I looked at him, but
yeah, if you were to tell me who's going to win the Pac-12, although USC didn't last year and Caleb still won the Heisman Trophy, then I could at least give you a Heisman finalist.
Yeah. Chase says I was out of line by making my draft pick, but I'd already announced it. You could have made me erase it.
It's fine. It's fine. You play the way you play.
Guess
games,
what?
man.
I don't feel good about mine. I don't feel good about yours, and I don't feel good about yours.
Yeah.
Well, then,
is there a chance?
You had all these picks.
I'm just saying, is there a chance that we, out of the 12, don't even have the Heisman?
Well,
I would go better chance we don't have it than we do.
Okay, let's do this. If we somehow don't have it, we buy the back room dinner.
If our pick does not show up in any of these 12 picks,
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to happen.
we'll buy the back room dinner.
Yeah.
Tyler, Scott, Lunsford, and Rockstar.
Not dinner where we eat steaks, but we'll buy them
we'll find them
dinner.
a good place.
So do we have this? Is it documented
It's
now?
documented.
Do not erase it yet.
Okay.
We don't have them yet. We'll take a still photo of that a little bit later on. Still photo. We'll bring the big old camera in for that.
I'm trying to find on odds. I was looking at some odds. The best odds that did not get picked by us, and I think it's Kyle McCord.
It was Drake. Nobody picked Drake May, right?
Oh, that's right. You're right. It is Drake May. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake May, Penix. I skipped the line. I'm sorry. Drake May and Penix are on the same line. Drake May and Penix are the highest, and then Kyle McCord after that, of guys that we just completely ignored.
Yeah. I did skip over both of them. I think Penix takes a step back if he can stay healthy all year, because that's in his history, in his resume, if you will.
And I think May's going to tear it up for a team that probably finishes third or fourth in their conference at best.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Unless you go the Barry Sanders route where they go 8-4 and he wins it because the numbers are so gaudy.
Yeah, but I mean, how crazy would his numbers have to be the way the voting works now for an 8-4 North Carolina quarterback?
And he's losing his OC too.
Yeah.
And who's the Ohio State quarterback?
Kyle McCord.
Yeah,
Kyle
that's who I'm
McCord.
talking about. Yeah, that was the third that we didn't pick.
That's the one with the numbers, right?
I mean, yeah.
But they have numbers every year and they don't win it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that Marvin Harrison wins it if he is a dominant, better receiver than that whole great receiving core, like Devontae was that year with an unnamed quarterback in Mac. But you can see where McCord actually gets there, when Kyle McCord actually gets there.
I don't know that Devontae Smith wins the Heisman if Jalen Waddle doesn't get hurt in the Tennessee game. I think when Waddle got hurt and it took that piece away, Smith got even more numbers, and everybody was like, my gosh, he's gotten better without having Jalen Waddle on the other side to take coverage away from him.
They know he's the main focus now.
Mac Jones would have won the Heisman. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a bad player. It would have been Mac Jones that year. But if Waddle doesn't get hurt, I'm not sure Smith could win the Heisman.
Nick pointing out really quickly that keep an eye out for injuries to Daniels, Bowers, Klubnik, and Carson Beck with my history of landmines. That all four of them could be. It's worse than a Madden curse. Me picking you in the Heisman draft.
Hey, so I saw somebody over there say that in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat that that Carson Beck would have better numbers than Stetson. Do you guys believe that?
It is believable, yes.
I saw somebody say Carson Beck will not match Stetson's number.
Yeah, that was what I said. I mean, 27-7 last year.
Touchdown to interception?
Yeah.
I think he could be better than that.
Yeah.
That's a fairly pedestrian touchdown and interception in college football these days.
But if you throw 2 a game, that's 24. If you average 2 a game. And
Georgia's going to be more about running the football.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
the
I'm
receivers
saying.
are improved.
Close your eyes and imagine the Georgia quarterback throwing for 3 a game. That's on average. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the way Kirby likes to play. Heisman conversation there. Will says Carson Beck might not start. Do you guys really believe Kirby is trying to sell us on that? I mean, he's got a big quarterback room, and he doesn't always do the right thing at quarterback. But
Forster wants to know if he can get a shake, too. This might be the Uncrustables they were waiting on.
That's right. We didn't see what the dinner was.
Dinner for you guys, man. We'll make it good. Do you guys add on extra burritos when we run through Taco Bell? Or?
Honestly, I would crush an Uncrustable right now.
Why don't we just
keep them in the fridge?
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3.
We got that one in there. That's perfect for the one in our office.
We have 3 refrigerators now up here.
I'll go buy a box. I'll say that and won't do it, but if I think about it, I'll go buy a box.
I will go buy a box right after I lay out the off-season documentary on our exit from Jocks. I'll do that first, and then I'll buy a box of Uncrustables.
Okay, so I'll go buy a box of Uncrustables.
All right. Part of the show being brought to you by Dr. B, and we'll give you another big thought right here as we work through our final hour. Interesting Heisman talk. Penn State's our 40-40 team today at number 7. We talked about them a little bit earlier on the show, but one more Penn State question after LT tells us about his hair.
Yeah, again, Dr. B, best in the business. When I started to thin out, I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name. Everyone said you need to go see. Since I went to see him, my hair has doubled in thickness. T3hair.net for more information. 205-319-0316. Remember the non-invasive treatment. I do it 3 nights a week on the couch. It only takes 30 minutes. So a combined hour and a half. And again, I'm just sitting there watching TV while I do this. Dr. B offers the Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Again, T3hair.net, 205-319-0316.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter. Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Tough Dog Garage Floors is a leading provider of high-quality garage floor coatings. Jared and his team specialize in the installation of polyasparatic flake garage floors. This is good for residential and commercial clients. Garage floors, concrete flooring, basement coatings, flake flooring, patio coatings, driveway coatings, pool deck coatings, and more. From get-togethers to oil changes, your garage experience will change forever. TUFF, Tough Dog, GarageFloors.com, or call 205-273-8813.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com.
Are you faced with unexpected medical expenses? You want to update your backyard? Or you just want that dream vacation? Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Legacy Credit Union can help with lifestyle loans. Legacy lifestyle loans do not require collateral and they have affordable low rates. See more about Legacy Lifestyle Loans online at legacycreditunion.com or simply stop by one of the 9 branches in the greater Birmingham area. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
NFL camps have opened up. We talked about that earlier in the show. Everybody will be opened by the time tomorrow is done. Lionel Messi with a walk-off goal in his first game ever at Inter Miami. Place went crazy. Some are calling it the biggest goal in MLS history for the last place Inter Miami team.
Well, their last place.
People are really saying that.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
last
of what
place. How going to be the biggest goal in history?
For what it's going to mean for the league. And it did have LeBron and Kim Kardashian and Jennifer Lopez, I believe, was there. Several other dignitaries were there. Packed house.
Was Barkley there?
I don't think Barkley was there. He was busy continuing to work at all of his different things that he does. But a big time, and just if you get a chance, go to my social media platform and see the Spanish call of that. Maybe the biggest lungs in broadcasting. I don't know who the guy is, but you know how the Spanish broadcasters oftentimes go, goal. He did it for a long time, and then he did it again for a long time, and then he did it a third time for a long time while Messi danced around the field because it was a walk-off win, basically. It came in the 94th minute for Miami with the win there. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. Before we get to that, though, Brown, you tell me that College Game Day has announced their first destination. Where would you go? Just thinking about first week games. I have not seen this yet.
Now, you got to remember this. It's a Saturday show, so this is somewhat mitigated by the fact that Florida-Utah has been moved to Thursday night.
And the Sunday night.
LSU and Florida State is Sunday night.
Right. So where would you go on the first Saturday?
Oh, so this is Saturday the 2nd, right?
Week
That is
one.
correct. Week 1.
Can you tell me if North Carolina, South Carolina, and Charlotte, is that a Monday night game or is that a Saturday?
That is 6:30 ABC, the Dukes Mayo Classic on Saturday.
That would be my pick then.
Oh.
Because that's one of the better games of the weekend because you've pointed out it's a bad slate, right?
Well, I hate to keep saying that because people are, well, Brady, I'm going to watch every game of it.
You said Carolina.
Uh-huh.
That's where I'm leaning right now, and yeah, I'm going to make it official. I'm going to agree.
College Game Day 2 has made it official. They will be at the Battle of the Carolinas, the Dukes Mayo Classic.
Because what's the rankings? Both those teams.
North Carolina back in. I don't think South Carolina will sneak into the top 25.
I don't even think it's a top 25 matchup.
So you mean Tennessee beating Tennessee and Clemson at the end?
I don't think they will.
I think if they do, they'll be really, really low. I mean, best case, I would say, what do you think North Carolina's best case is? 2015?
22 is their best case.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
So the best case is like 22 versus 25.
Yeah.
Or 24 or something like that.
I think you got a better chance of both unranked than both being ranked.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with Lance. on
But
that
you
one.
still
I
got
do think North Carolina will be
storylines.
ranked.
I mean, you got Beamer and what he's building there. Is this the last for Mac Brown? You've got an elite quarterback. What can be an elite quarterback in Spencer Rattler? So you've got storylines. I think it'll be a fun game.
Yeah. I mean, again, I really want to quit warning people that it's not a great week one, but I think that pretty much highlights it right there. When North Carolina, South Carolina is your college game day game, probably tells you what week one brings. And it wasn't just that they're trying to avoid like a Fox game. There just weren't many other good games. I mean, like your primetime NBC game we talked about earlier is Penn State, West Virginia. I mean, my gosh, Penn State's a 3-touchdown favorite in that game.
Yeah, really.
Not gonna go there.
Only other choices would have been Boise at Washington.
It's a hard sell.
UTSA and Houston.
Even a harder sell.
Yeah.
Although, week one, you could always say, hey, we threw a Power 5 a bone. We went to a UTSA game. I mean, it doesn't really matter where you are week one, I don't guess.
That's right.
JohnstonRVCenter.com will get you where you want to go week one, though. They want you to have that sweet southern summer on the road with an RV from Johnston RV Center. So much so they got travel trailers starting at just $139 a month. If you do the math, that's less than $5 a day, which is an amazing deal. Also, 2023 fifth wheels, just $439 a month. And they got a military discount. All active duty and retired military personnel get great discounts there at Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
I already told you that the 5-star wide receiver Jamie French with 2 Fs picks Alabama over Florida State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Penn State over the weekend, joining another 5-star wide receiver, Ryan Williams, for the 2025 Alabama class. 5-star running back Anthony Roger already in that class there. But that's for 2025. In 2024, LSU picks up a 4-star linebacker, Tyler Singleton, who picks LSU over A&M, Tennessee, Arkansas, and TCU. And sad news for Florida and for a former Kentucky player who turned Florida Gator, Keonta Goodwin. His mom has been diagnosed with cancer, and he has left the Florida program. Reports say he's going to apply for a hardship so that he can move back closer to his mother, who is going to be going through cancer treatment at this point in her life. He is from Louisville, so it'll be interesting to see if it's Louisville he transfers to or if he goes back to Kentucky, which is about 55 minutes away, depending on what side of Louisville his family lives on there in the area. But our thoughts and prayers to Mrs. Goodwin and Keonta's family there as he plots out his next course for college athletics. As I was saying before the break, I wanted to ask you about James Franklin. Penn State's our team today. And let's start with this. This is always a good barometer of elite college coaches. Is James Franklin a top 10 coach in college football right now?
I'm going to say just off the bat, no. Now, I'll give you the good with Franklin. I mean, even going back to Vanderbilt, having back-to-back 9-win seasons. I know they didn't really beat anybody, but still, at Vanderbilt, that's beyond impressive. He's had 4 11-win seasons his last 7 years.
That's pretty good.
4 top 10 finishes, which, if you're in the top 10, that makes you a top 10 coach, right? And
it does.
He's got the Big Ten title, which, a lot of people would say, well, that's not much, but.
Let's do the obvious. Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney,
Brian Kelly,
Ryan Kelly,
Lincoln Riley,
Ryan Day. I think you got to go Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
That's 7 right there. They're just, before we even start digging and thinking about it, I'm up to 7.
And that's about where you start factoring him in.
No doubt. That's where he falls in the discussion. Now I got to kind of.
Now you go Jimbo or James Franklin.
James Franklin.
Jimbo has won a national championship. James Franklin has been far more consistent of late than Jimbo.
Yeah, I would go James Franklin.
I think I go James Franklin in front of Jimbo.
And there's some other names that I'd like to put in front of Franklin, but I don't know if I can based on production, like Chris Kleiman, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
I think Hugh Freeze.
Chip Kelly, what he's done in his career.
But those guys just don't have the accomplishment of. You're right. Chip Kelly does.
Well, I think I'd put Whittingham in front of Franklin. And I think you could say enough about Whittingham. Much more difficult program. And he's played for conference championship 3 consecutive years and won it back-to-back. And I would even say that Utah overall might have better finishes than Franklin. Need to check that out.
They had a couple lean years there, but
keep in mind, top 10 last year for Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's top 10. Yeah. I mean, I think once we got to 7 right there, we get to a bunch of guys that are a lot alike. I have got no problem putting James Franklin in the top 10 of college football coaches right now.
He's either 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably where he would fall. And once you get to that point, though, here's the problem, like Lance is talking about, Dunaway. Then you start talking about guys that sometimes you might have to grade on the curve, right? You know, a guy that is in a lesser program. I mean, I don't think you would ever make. I mean, Kleiman is kind of that guy that Lance brought up. Also, with Kleiman, do I count his North Dakota State stuff? Do I ignore that? You know.
So,
I mean, he was dominant at North Dakota State. That's obviously good coaching, but do I count that towards what he's doing at K-State?
He's won a Big 12 championship. I'm just saying,
it seems to justify it.
Yeah, if you were going to say over the next 5 years, I would have Kleiman in front of Franklin, but based on accomplishment. Going back to Whittingham, though, 20 years now at Utah, he's only had 2 losing seasons, and those were 2 5-7s.
And he's been to a couple Rose Bowls, right?
Yeah, he's been to 2 Rose Bowls.
2 Rose Bowls?
Hasn't won any of them. Hasn't had Cam Rising finish any of them.
Won a Sugar
Bowl.
Unfortunate,
yeah.
Alabama fans will remember that.
They will. I mean, yeah, you got a conversation there with Whittingham.
Yeah, I mean, 13-0, 10-3, 10-3. 2015 was 10-3, 11-3 in 19, 10-4, 10-4 back-to-back years. He's had a lot of double-digit win seasons at Utah.
Forrester puts Luke Fickell in front of James Franklin. I mean, he's been one place James Franklin hasn't been.
I think we're going to know a lot about Fickell in the next 2 years at Wisconsin. Again, that becomes a much more difficult job once USC enters the Big Ten. But Wisconsin this year, I think they're going to win the West. And by winning the West, you got a one-game situation to possibly get into a college football playoff.
Do you guys agree with B. Foshi? I always say this about Mario Cristobal. He's the guy you want running your program Sunday through Friday. He's a liability sometimes for you on Saturday. And he says Franklin is that guy too.
He says Franklin is Mario Cristobal.
Yep. Not good on Saturdays.
I mean, give me like big games, big tight games he's won.
Who, James Franklin?
Yeah.
I mean, James Franklin's won a conference championship, though. He's beaten Michigan and Ohio State at times.
But 2 big tight games he's won, really, it was that Ohio State game where they blocked the kick, right? And I think Ohio State was number 1 in that game.
That was in 16.
I mean, that Auburn game was a tight game, but that was not a good Auburn team in retrospect that he ended up beating that night in Happy Valley, nor was it a good Auburn team he beat down here last year.
Our friends at Hemp Hill bringing you part of the show today. Hemp Hill for all your heating and your cooling and your plumbing. We gave you the Hemp Hill best and worst of the weekend earlier.
Yeah, our friends at Hemp Hill Services offering 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys. Hemp Hill Services. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. Team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
So in all of our lead up in the next 32 or so days to college football, we're all doing a top 5 of a variety of different things in the SEC. And Taylor has put out my top 5 SEC tailgates in the SEC. Here's my list. LT and Brown are going to put out those, and I want your reaction to mine. To me, number 1 is LSU. Number 2 is Ole Miss. It's overplayed, but it's still a great tailgate. I don't get into all the chandeliers and those kind of tents, but when you get out there on the Grove, it's a good tailgate. Georgia, to me, is an underrated tailgate that nobody ever talks about in the SEC. Game day in Athens is fun, whether you're in a bar or in the tailgate area there. South Carolina, you get talked about inside the stadium and the cockaboos and everything, but another good tailgate area around there. And if you want to go to the fair, when that's open, you can do that too. And then to me, back into my top 5 this year, when I was in Knoxville, Tennessee with the river, the boats, and all that is a great tailgate as well. Those are my top 5. Any of those 5, maybe a different order, going to make y'all's list?
Yeah, I think 4 of the 5 make my list.
Which one do you dump?
I dumped South Carolina.
I've only been to one game there. The Cockaboose area stands out to me. I don't remember much else about the tailgating situation there.
Really good open tailgating area. I don't know if they have a name for it.
Well, they're building up an area now. They obviously will have a name, I'm sure, and probably have a donor's name on it too. But they're building up an entertainment district around Williams-Brice Stadium there for the future.
I wonder if they're getting rid of the fairgrounds and putting that in?
I don't know. I don't know if that fairgrounds. The only time I ever went to a game at South Carolina, that fairgrounds was still operational. I mean, they still have the fair there, I think.
Yeah. Chris says the cockabooses are overrated. Updated green space is a huge addition. I've been in some green space areas. I've never really I've toured a couple of cockabooses doing local TV, but I had a great time there. Jace says Columbia is not a good SEC tailgate. Columbia, South Carolina, or Missouri, Jace?
Oh, I'm sure. So I don't think any of us could.
I did not enjoy Columbia, Missouri.
I had a good time. Was it 5 points in Columbia?
Yes.
South Carolina.
I had a good time that weekend, but it was so far like getting to the tailgates and then getting out of there was such a pain in the ass.
But I could be wrong. I remember, Dunaway, when I went to South Carolina, the cockabooses, I remember there only being like 4 or 5 of them. Am I wrong about that?
It's more than that now. Maybe it was back then.
Yeah.
It's more than that now. They keep bringing them in. They're literal tracks. They bring them in on.
Yeah, just set them still.
But I'm not factoring in the cockabooses too. That's unique, and that is good for some people. I'm not in that price range. I'm out with the common folks. And I even enjoyed walking through the fair and grabbing a corn dog. I actually walked through the state fair to cut off a little bit of my walk from where I parked to get to the stadium. And again, these are my top 5. Everyone can do their own top 5. This is when I have a good time on the road, has been those 5 locations. I didn't factor in Auburn and Alabama because those are home games for me, but you guys do your list however you want to.
I remember you mentioned Georgia, and this memory came back to me this weekend because I mentioned I was at a lake party, and they had on the SEC network down on the dock, just have on some sports, and they were replaying 2008 Ole Miss at Florida, the game Houston upset Florida. And I was telling my wife, I was telling Jennifer, or I was saying, they're about to go for this 4th down and get stopped. And she's like, oh, my gosh, I don't know how you remember this. No, that I can tell you exactly where I was when it happened.
I was at a bar in Athens.
We were all in Athens, Georgia at a bar. And I remember walking out before that play, and we were in the bar area of Athens, and the tailgate area is not too far from there. The cheer that went up from that tailgate area when Ole Miss stopped them on 4th down was incredible. Like, you could hear it all over Athens just from the Georgia fans tailgating pregame there. I don't remember a ton about that tailgate, but if there were enough people to make that loud of a cheer, that must have been one heck of a tailgate.
Yeah. So you send us yours. Keep watching on our social media platform. Taylor is sending those out all the way in the lead up to the start of the college football season. A look ahead to the season brought to you by our friends at Michelson. A lot more to do, including I'm going to give LT a chance to talk USC. He's got his USC shirt on. He was not here on Friday when they were our 40-40 team. We'll talk a little bit more Pac-12 and USC on the other side. Tell us about Michelson.
Michelson Laser Vision, 205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. Find out if LASIK is right for you. It's as simple as that. I made the call more than 2 decades ago. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both of my eyes, I've got 2015 vision still 2 decades later. Call today, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the Next Round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
It's time to get out and enjoy the summer of 2023. Ocean City, Maryland, and your hotel family at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from our Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at our Bayview Bar and Grill, span the 2.5-mile-long Ocean City Boardwalk, and a lot more. See all this plus irresistible summer deals and packages online at residenceinoc.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Do something different this summer. Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City, Maryland.
Summer is here, school is out, and that means moving season. If you need help buying a home or selling your home, you need Holly Mack Wilson. Let Holly Mack Wilson do for you what she did for 70 people last year. Find you the home of your dreams. She is a professional who helps you with every step of the buying and selling process. Holly Mack Wilson will help you find a home, negotiate the best price, and help you get your home ready to sell. She helps you get the most out of the house you are selling and helps you get into the home of your dreams at the best possible price. Holly Mack Wilson can help you find a home anywhere in Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. So call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or check her out online at hollymackhomes.com. Then sit back and enjoy your summer. Who knows, she may even help you plan your summer vacation. That's Holly Mack Wilson at 205-901-9446 or hollymackhomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your trusted and professional travel planner and Keller Williams agent.
We told you about Bryce Young's contract with the Panthers back on Friday. The next guy, number 2 overall pick C.J. Stroud, has agreed to terms with the Texans. A 4-year rookie contract that gets him $36.3 million overall, slightly less than Bryce, and $23.38 million in bonus money, slightly less than Bryce, as you are 1 to 2, but not much less. All of it fully guaranteed, just like Bryce was.
And according to Adam Schefter, I know it's fully guaranteed, but paid up front. I don't guess I realized they did that on a fully guaranteed contract. I would have assumed you were still paid annually something.
Well, it's partial, right? Just the signing bonus is paid up front?
According to Schefter, 100% of the money is paid up front. Could you imagine this morning $36.2 million showing up in your bank account?
So, well, that's $36.3 million, and then the signing bonus is $23.38. So that totals up to be more than that, right?
Well, I don't know, but he says 100% of the money is paid up front. So I'm assuming.
Well, that's the way you'd want it, right? You'd want it all up front.
I mean, I would, but also if there's something about that paycheck showing up every week. If I'm the Texans, I'd kind of like that motivation of the paycheck showing up every week, and not the motivation or the lack of motivation of, you know what? If I crap out, I got $36 million in my bank account right now, or $53 million, or whatever it is.
And we see that a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't you see that sort of what Andrew Luck did at the end?
I mean, I guess you could say that at least you got productive years out of Andrew Luck.
When he wasn't hurt, though, Andrew Luck was unbelievable.
Yeah, but you'd invested a lot in him when he walked away.
And it certainly set them back. And now they were able to. They went Jacoby Brissett for 1 year before they got Phillip Rivers. Am I right about that? I think that's the way it went.
But they haven't been the same.
Oh, no, they have not been the same. And they've tried everything. They tried Phillip Rivers. They tried Matt Ryan. Now they're going to try Anthony Richardson, it appears. But they have not been the same since Luck walked away.
Bromberg gets you into the game if you've got some gifts needed coming up, no matter what it is, including the big ring to pop the question. Bromberg's has it.
Yeah, again, they are your diamond specialist, family owned and operated since 1836. Bromberg has established that solid reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. Bromberg's also has that extensive giftware department to service the registry of brides and grooms right here in Birmingham. Go see our friends at Bromberg's today. 2 great locations, Mountain Brook at the Summit. Again, you can view their online store today. Go to brombergs.com.
Is there a chance, Brownie, I'm getting a little, you're not a doctor, is there a chance I'm getting a little arthritis from playing so much golf in my left ring finger?
I mean, I guess there's that chance. Does it hurt all the time? Does it hurt when you do that?
No, it hurt right there.
Does it hurt when you grip it?
When I did that right there, there's a little tenderness to it. Could be the end of my game.
I would say take 3 weeks off and see what happens.
Not happening.
You're playing tomorrow, aren't you?
But you know, I grip it too. I've got a permanent callus right there because I gripped the club too hard.
Yeah, well, that's part of your problem there. You don't want to grip a club tight. No reason to grip it tight.
These
it's not running away from you.
I wanted to give LT an opportunity to talk about USC because he loves him some Trojans, and that just happened to work where that was our team on Friday and he wasn't here. But first, listen to Lincoln Riley talking about the steps they made last year getting ready to what could be a special year this year.
Obviously, really excited for the year. We feel like we learned a lot in year one about what we are. We took some tremendous steps, but also had some very obvious holes to fill and some improvements to be made. And we feel like we've aggressively addressed a lot of those areas. And you saw the difference, certainly, I think, even in spring ball, in just the competitive depth within our program. And that has been, we knew that was going to be a little bit of a journey, right? You can, this day and age, and it's been talked about a lot, you can build rosters faster than you could before, but you still can't do everything in 1 year. Like it can't happen. You can make dramatic changes, but not everything. And so we were proud of what we did in year one, but certainly very focused on what we felt like year two could be.
Pac-12 Media Day doesn't look as much fun as SEC Media Day.
It's a little different. We had two people up there doing an interview. Is that what that was?
It's like they rent the room we had for everyone. And we're just going to rotate everybody through media and all coaches, players.
I say we give it a try one year. Where are the locations? That was in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that was in Vegas. Maybe we'll try that someday.
I just couldn't do it back to back.
But okay, USC. What do you think of this Trojan team? Caleb Williams said on Friday that he wants to provide USC with a trip to the college football playoffs. He hasn't been. That's the one thing he wants to do before he leaves college. Is probably his last chance to try it.
Well, he's a big-time competitor. And look, you couldn't really do anything about Alex Grinch's defense last year and how bad they were against the run. I mean, they gave up over 5 yards a carry in 9 different games. They gave up the final 2 games almost 550 yards on the ground. That was to Utah. And then Tulane went for over 300 yards and 9 yards per carry. It's almost like they just gave up. And, you fought Alex Grinch, but at the same time, there were so many missed tackles. So guys were there for their assignments. They just weren't bringing the ball carrier down.
Do you blame Alex Grinch, or do you just that you just thought it was going to take a while to get the personnel right?
Yeah, well, and look, I was about to bring this up. The new reality in college football is rosters flip. And you guys are going to be blown away when you see how many transfers actually are impact guys for USC. I mean, Kion Barrs on that defensive line trying to get it right coming from Arizona. Bear Alexander coming over from Georgia. Dorian Singer might be the best receiver in the Pac-12 coming from Arizona. Was the first team Pac-12er last year with Arizona. Now he's got Caleb Williams.
So you're telling me everyone except DeLara that was good at Arizona is now at USC?
Yeah, they've got 3 offensive linemen coming in. One of those guys from Florida. So the offensive line, I don't think I shouldn't say it doesn't matter much. Caleb Williams can do so much in the backfield. And if he doesn't get hurt against Utah, again, the defense was still going to give up a lot. I think the game would have been a lot closer. But let's not forget they were really a half away from going to a college football playoff in Lincoln Riley's first year.
You ask about Grinch's defense. I mean, some of it was personnel. Like I will never. Who was the first game they played last year? It was some random like San Jose State or something.
I think it was Fresno.
Or Fresno. I remember watching that game, and that was the first time I'd seen that Eric Gentry kid play linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like 6'6", 190, and I'm like, dude, that's not a linebacker.
Okay, but he's put on some weight in the offseason.
Well, he may have, but he's not then.
No, but he is legit. The guy's got range and everything.
He does, but you can't play at that size. Not inside linebacker. Not against big physical teams.
There were missed tackles.
Yeah.
But I think you bring in a guy like Mason Cobb from Oklahoma State, the linebackers are going to be really good. This USC team is going to be better. The problem is Pac-12 is going to be better. I think they could be favored in all 12 games, but they've got 4 really tricky games. At Notre Dame, they've got Utah, they go to Oregon, and they've got Washington. And I think worst case they're 10-2. I think best case they're 12-0.
They sleepwalk to 6-0. I mean, they absolutely sleepwalk to 6-0.
Yeah, but I'm going to say that 10-2 is probably the number.
There's nothing that keeps them from 6-0, and then you're at Notre Dame on that big NBC game, and that's going to be, We just said College Game Day is going to South Carolina, North Carolina. That could be one of the biggest games of the season, Notre Dame and USC.
Well, and you mentioned South Carolina, Marshawn Lloyd. Do you guys remember that name, running back for South Carolina?
Right.
He's come in, and he, is going to have every opportunity to be that number one back. Austin Jones and him probably share carries. But again, not only will the defense be improved, it can't get worse. The offense, I think, is better this year.
But Tripp says 9-3. Back half of the schedule is brutal.
It
you
is.
Look at that: USC at Notre Dame, Utah,
back-to-back weeks,
Washington after you beat Cal, at Oregon, then UCLA.
There's no breather.
No way they lose 3 of 5 though. Tripp.
I could see it. I mean, I don't think they will, but I mean, you got to look at that, man. Notre Dame and Utah back-to-back weeks, and then that's a brutal finish. Host Washington, at Oregon, host UCLA.
Again, I think the top of this league is going to beat up on each other. I think it's probably a 10-2 champion. I'm not going to be shocked at all, though, if they're 12-0. If this defense comes out, we really won't know anything with San Jose State, Nevada, Stanford.
6-0, sleepwalk to 6-0.
Yeah, even at Arizona State, at Colorado. Arizona, though, they'll finally get a test offensively. Or I should say defensively.
Yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't sound like it. You took all their players away. Here's our Bud Light poll question today, okay? And I want your answer to this on the other side in our final segment. But it's brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Which is more intriguing to you? The last dance of USC and UCLA in the Pac-12 or Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12? Give me the answer coming up on the other side. That poll question brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The last dance of USC and UCLA or Texas and Oklahoma, the most intriguing to you guys. One more segment to go here on the show. And don't forget, we've got a lot of coverage coming up all the way up to the start of football season. We also are going to the World Series of Fishing. Is that what we're going to? At Ocean Cities, Maryland.
Yeah, I don't know if they call it the World Series of Fishing.
That's what we'll call it.
But it might be. I know it's one of the biggest rodeos out there. Again, Red's mom was telling me yesterday that she knows all about the rodeo growing up at Ocean City. Keith Wisenhunt and the great group out there at the Residence Inn, Renaissance Inn, the Marriott property that you talk about frolicking in the Atlantic.
Right.
We're going to be staying there, looking forward to that trip. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's coming up in about 3 weeks. We look forward to broadcasting live from Ocean City with some interesting folks who will join us on the show from up there. And then maybe one more trip to the Floribama, all before the football season cranks up.
That's why I'm doing Testicle Fest Saturday, so we can do the Floribama. That
This
was the whole
upcoming
reason I moved.
Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday's Testicle Festival.
All right.
Hickson, Tennessee.
I didn't know that. Where is it?
Hickson, Tennessee.
Hickson. That doesn't sound fun.
That's a Testicle Festival, Jim. You could have it in New York City, and it doesn't sound
Is
fun.
Jim Brown going?
She is not. She is absolutely not going to Testicle Festival.
So you're
She
solo
shut that
on
down.
Saturday.
I might have an accompaniment to do some video for us.
Ush.
I might have an accompaniment. I'm not going to name names.
Okay. So you leave Friday after the show to go up?
I'll probably just go up Saturday morning. It's just outside Chattanooga.
Okay. So a quick drive up to Chattanooga and back, day up for Brownie.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
We'll be at the Floribama later in August. All that travel brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. See Stu and them. Want you to cap that gutter one more time.
Yeah, it's a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. You'll never have to clean the gutters out again. It's back with a lifetime warranty. Again, call Chris Stewart today. Let him come out and give you an absolutely free estimate. Last thing you want to do is get on the roof. It's a dirty, dangerous job. 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. For more information, Gutter Cap Birmingham.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville. If you have water or fire damage to your home or business, DryTech is here to help. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. They respond quickly, within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They have 5 crews ready to go 24/7, built to go on the job when it happens. DryTech has 65-star Google reviews, so call DryTech, not the insurance company. Find more online at mydrytech.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
When the weather gets warm in the Deep South, there's nothing better than spending your days outside. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. When you're outside, there are a couple of things you want to be certain about. Number one, your yard looks the best it can. And number two, you're not always swatting away those mosquitoes. My friends at Wayne's take care of both those things for me. And Wayne's is celebrating their 50th year. So right now, get $50 off your pest, your termite, your lawn, and your mosquito services. Visit callwaynes.com or call 866-WAYNES-1.
Hey, treat that special someone to the gift of luxury from Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Again, buy them 24/7 online or stop by the Woodhouse Day Spas and tell them the Next Round sent you.
New Life Art bringing us our final segment today, our last big thing. I'll get these guys to answer what is the poll question for you guys. What's more interesting, the last dance of USC UCLA in the Pac-12 or Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12? LT, tell us about New Life.
Yeah, artist Daniel Moore has announced his next masterwork in oils. Legacy continues. The sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Order today. Go to danielmooreart.com. That's danielmooreart.com.
All right. Which one's more interesting to you, Brown, and why?
Well, I tell you, for me, I think it's going to be Oklahoma and Texas, and I say that because of the places they're going to have to go. I think more people care about Big 12 football than Pac-12 football. More of the fan bases. It's more passionate fan bases in the Big 12, and I think they're going to face a lot more backlash than USC and UCLA. I mean, for instance, USC's road games are at Arizona State. Don't even know. They may be leaving too eventually to go to the Pac-12. Colorado, who I think is leaving at some point to go to the Pac-12. Cal, who I don't even think anybody will go to that game except USC fans. And then at Oregon, I mean, they're going to be probably fired up, but you're just not going to have a whole lot of road games at places that the fans are going to be that wound up about you leaving. So for USC, I don't even know how much they're going to hear about it.
LT, I voted USC UCLA just because there's a handful of games that couldn't make it onto my main TV this year. And other than Texas, Alabama, and Texas and Oklahoma themselves, I don't know how many of the Big 12 games actually make it on my main TV.
No, I get that. I mean, I think the bigger deal for the conference is USC and UCLA leaving. Because I think USC has always been, although Oregon has had more success than them over the last 20, 25 years, they've always been the alpha in that conference. Now, again, you could say the same for Texas and Oklahoma. It just seems like Big 12 has a much better chance of surviving than the Pac-12.
Oklahoma has actually been the alpha in that conference. Most people would say Texas just because of their personality, but Oklahoma has run that conference.
But look, if there's one rivalry that's meant something nationally that has been relevant, Oklahoma, Texas has been relevant. Victory Bell has not been a relevant game.
Well, Victory Bell has a really good history.
I love seeing both dark jerseys out there.
They both wear the home jersey. I don't catch myself watching the Victory Bell a whole lot. Like, there are certain rivalries that I watch no matter what. And the Victory Bell, like USC Notre Dame, just feels more important to me. As a neutral observer from Birmingham, Alabama, I'm more interested annually in USC Notre Dame than I am in the Victory Bell.
Well, it's had a lot more at stake.
It has. It feels like it. Dunaway, do you watch that game a ton?
I do. I mean, you said it had a lot more at stake. I mean, helped out Texas, Oklahoma. You always know it's going to be early in the year, relatively speaking.
It sets the tone for the Big 12, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always an 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon kick.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where it's going to be. USC, UCLA, sometimes it's not the last game of the year.
And Notre Dame, USC's midseason if it's in South Bend, end of the year if it's in L.A.
So, it depends on the seasons the teams are having and which one I think is bigger. I just think there's a handful of games, and I'm not saying, the poll question, USC versus UCLA. I'm talking about both of them. And, Texas and Oklahoma both are interesting in their final year. And for me, USC only, not UCLA. I just think USC versus Utah, USC versus Oregon, USC versus Washington, USC versus UCLA, USC versus Oregon State. There are some games there that I think are going to rise up, other than Texas literally playing Oklahoma, that I think are going to rise up to be better than those Big 12 games for them. But, there's great interest in me because Texas and Oklahoma are literally coming to this conference, so that really makes it exciting for me.
The interesting thing, too, is, Big 12, the Texas and Oklahoma are going to have to face those new teams that are going to get their one shot at Texas and Oklahoma. Like most of those new teams, Central Florida's had Texas come to their place before. But Central Florida, Cincinnati, Houston, they probably know we're not going to play Texas and Oklahoma again. When they get to the SEC, they're not going to play us out of conference in all likelihood. This is our one shot. If I'm going to Austin or if they're coming to me or Norman and they're coming to me, this is my one shot at Texas and Oklahoma. And I do wonder how that goes, especially if it's on the road, especially if you're having to go to Cincinnati or having to go to Houston. I don't have their schedules in front of me. How do those fan bases react knowing this is my only shot ever probably at Texas and Oklahoma?
I appreciate you guys jumping in with us today, and I apologize really quickly for having to ask this live on the air, but what's our end show time today, Lunsford? I got used to it being at 57. Is it top of the hour? Top of the hour, okay. Hard out at the top of the hour. Last week when we changed our time, it changed the end time too.
It's hard to break habits, right?
I couldn't remember. I was like, God, I did 2 full years of that. We don't have an official announcement. We sort of know when the kickoff party is going to be. It's going to be around August 16th. Again, we'll let you know the official details when we iron that out.
I didn't tell you guys. I think my schedule was one of the holdups, and I've looked, and I'm good for the date we were talking about. So I think it's going to end up being that date.
All right.
So you're close there.
But the 16th is our it's likely going to be August 17th.
Lunsford says it's the 17th.
All right. So
I didn't know if we passed it. I know you're acting like you're in charge this week because Reed's not here. I don't know if we officially said that, but that's where we're targeting, August 17th.
Yep. I am in charge.
Yes,
Yep.
I knew you thought you were.
My daughter has move-in day at South Alabama the next day, and I had initially thought I was going to be going that night. I wasn't, so I was actually the holdup.
Okay, so most likely, I should say, August 17th for this year's kickoff party and the celebration of the show anniversary as we get ready to start what will be year 3 now.
That's crazy.
Of this little venture that we do here. We're about to do another Mystery Fifth Hour. These guys are going to do a back room a little bit later on this week. All that will be coming out on the platform. Cocktails returns tomorrow afternoon on all of our platforms, and we got a lot of interesting stuff coming up for that. Last quick question. Give me a 15-second answer, LT, on James Franklin, the grade he's done at Penn State, our number 7 team today, number 7 in the 40 and 40. What's the overall letter grade of James Franklin at Penn State?
I will go a strong B, almost a B+. He's won one Big Ten championship. He hasn't been to a college football playoff. But if I'm a Penn State fan, he's had really good recruiting classes. That should equate to a championship.
I'm dead on. I agree with that. B.
Yeah, you've been behind Ohio State and Michigan. That's why it can't be an A. It's a B.
B it is. And that's the show today. Live on a Monday. We're back with you tomorrow.
I thought Tyler had 2 musics play. There we go.
It was 2 different songs?
It was.
I thought Trash Jazz was still playing.
Yeah. I thought we had, a new interesting mix there at the end of the show.
A bit off key, if I do say so
Tyler's
myself.
first full day as a full employee up here. And it's been a perfect game. Way to go, Tyler. We're back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. That's right. The start of the show is 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.